Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a really massive challenge. How do we actually measure the true impact of our business and product decisions? You know, we hear buzzwords like eco-friendly or green all the time, right? But true sustainability, it's not just a marketing term. It's a rigorous, multi-dimensional science. So let's break down the exact frameworks that professionals use to assess the products we interact with every single day.
Okay, let's dive right in with a highly relatable dilemma. Imagine you're launching a brand new beverage and you have to choose your packaging. Your options? Single-use plastic, reusable glass, or aluminum. Now, on the surface, you probably have an immediate gut reaction about which one is the good guy and which is the bad guy. But which is the truly sustainable choice when we step back and look at the entire picture?
Section 1. The Sustainability Packaging Dilemma Navigating Friction. To figure this out, we have to look way past the intimidating alphabet soup of sustainability metrics and really understand how to navigate real-world friction.
Here's the absolute crucial reality in sustainability. A decision almost never results in a perfect win across the board. Instead, we are constantly dealing with trade-offs. It's like playing a giant game of whack-a-mole. Whenever you try to improve one specific area, let's say dramatically reducing carbon emissions, you might accidentally make another area like water usage significantly worse. There is rarely, if ever, a magic bullet.
Section 2. Measuring environmental impact, measuring the Earth. Let's apply our very first analytical lens to our packaging dilemma, measuring the actual physical toll on the planet.
When scientists look at environmental impact, they gather massive, just mind-boggling amounts of raw inventory data. We're talking energy, water, and materials flowing in and out of a system. But, well, raw data isn't enough on its own. We use characterization methods like LEF 3.1 or recipe. You can think of these essentially as translators. They take all those raw material flows and scientifically convert them into actual understandable environmental impacts. Now, what's really fascinating here is that the goal isn't just to calculate a single generic green score. No way. Instead, these methods translate data into highly specific categories, things like climate change, water use, eutrophication, and human toxicity. We need to know exactly which specific flows are driving a particular problem. For instance, which exact part of manufacturing a glass bottle is driving eutrophication in local waterways? Having that level of detail is absolutely crucial because it allows us to make targeted, meaningful improvements.
Section 3. Counting costs and people, adding human lenses. You see, the physical Earth is really only one piece of this giant puzzle. If we just stop there, glass or aluminum might look like really easy winners. But let's look a little closer, shall we? This is where LCC, or life cycle costing, comes into play. LCC forces us to look at the money, but definitely not just the upfront retail price. It assesses the financial reality from the initial purchase price all the way to the end of life. That encompasses manufacturing, energy, maintenance, logistics, and disposal. I mean, think about it. A heavy reusable glass bottle might be fairly cheap to actually make, but what happens to the financial cost when you're shipping incredibly heavy pallets of them all across the country? It adds up fast.
Then we layer on the SLCA, the Social Life Cycle Assessment. This metric measures the human element, capturing vital social indicators that, honestly, are far too often completely ignored. We're looking at things like the occupational health and safety of the workers actually making the packaging, fair wages, access to resources, and the overall effect on local communities.
And this brilliantly illustrates our ultimate problem. When we map plastic, glass, and aluminum across environmental, cost, and social indicators, no single option completely sweeps the board. These different dimensions, Earth, cost, and people, often point in completely different directions. An option that provides a massive win for local employment might literally be catastrophic for water use. Or the option with the absolute lowest carbon footprint might be far, far too expensive to practically implement in the real world.
Section 4. Navigating trade-offs, using MCDA. So how do decision makers actually solve this tension without just subjectively guessing or, picking a favorite material?
The answer to that is multi-criteria decision analysis, or MCDA. Because we are dealing with totally different units, like how do you compare liters of water to dollars spent to worker safety incidents, we can't just do a simple average. Integrated assessment requires transparent, structured comparison rather than simple averaging, which is exactly what MCDA allows us to do. It's a real game changer.
Here is exactly how that structured process works. Step 1, we normalize the indicators, putting all those completely disparate units onto a common scale,
So we're finally comparing apples to apples. Step 2, we apply a weighting scenario, assigning importance to each category based on our specific goals. And finally, step 3, we calculate a comprehensive overall score to see which alternative actually performs best under those exact priorities.
To really see how powerful those weights are, look at how dramatically the final winner flips simply by shifting our scenario. Under a cost priority weighting, plastic actually comes out as the winner. But shift the priority to an environment priority weighting, and reusable glass suddenly takes the lead. The raw data hasn't changed at all, not one bit, but our priorities have dictated an entirely different conclusion. Wild, right?
Section 5. Visualizing decisions. Dashboard design. Because our priorities and weights can flip an outcome so drastically, we absolutely have to talk about how we present all of this data.
Because these selected weights, scales, and indicators heavily influence the final conclusions, we have to communicate these dashboards incredibly carefully to stakeholders. The ultimate takeaway from this explainer is that visualizations must be designed for non-specialists, rigorously adhering to responsible communication. You don't just show the final results, you must actively expose the assumptions you made and make it crystal clear exactly how that recommendation was derived. Transparency is literally just as important as the data itself. We are all making complex choices every single day, both in business and in our personal lives. As you step away from this explainer and this assessment of sustainability metrics, consider the data you look at daily. Ask yourself, what hidden weights are secretly driving your own conclusions? Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we'll see you next time as we continue to break down the invisible frameworks that shape our world